All right, so as you guys know, last night Donovan Mitchell had a virtuoso performance, 71 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, sent the game to overtime, shooting the ball off the rim on the free throw attempt and catching it and laying it in. And the Cavaliers were able to defeat the Chicago Bulls in overtime. Donovan Mitchell, two things I want to say about this man. The first thing, when he was with the Utah Jazz, I just thought that Donovan Mitchell was as good as any young player in the NBA. I know we talk about Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, and I probably would lean with those guys over Donovan Mitchell maybe, but Donovan Mitchell is as good as it gets when you talk about young players in this league coming up and potentially being the next faces of this NBA for the next decade or so. I mean, he does it all. He can shoot the three with the best of them. He has unlimited range. He can get to the paint and rise up over guys. He's a team player. He defends. He passes the ball. He facilitates. And he just has that energy and confidence. And that's what I love most about him. He plays with so much fire and just like you could tell the guys rally around Donovan Mitchell and they just really love playing with him and for him. He brings Cleveland something that they really haven't had since LeBron left. And I just thought when he was in Utah, he didn't get a fair shake because he was around a bunch of guys who just depended on him to create shots for them. There was nobody on that Utah team who could really create other than Mike Conley, who is aging. We know that Mike Conley isn't the guy he used to be. So Mike Conley could occasionally get a foot or two inside the paint. But for the most part, it was Donovan Mitchell driving and finishing or driving and kicking out to one of the shooters. And it was just a gimmick offense where they were trying to shoot more threes than the other team. And then when the other team was trying to shoot threes, they would chase them off the line and try to send them towards Gobert. And then Gobert was supposed to take care of everything at the rim. That team was never going to do anything in the postseason. In fact, I think he did as much with them as he possibly could. I think he didn't really get a fair shake over there. People act like he's not that guy, and they don't talk about him with the best of the best when we talk young players in this league. And like I said, Donovan Mitchell is just about as good as they get. So I just thought a lot of the flack that he caught from like people on Twitter and just NBA fans and the NBA media at large, I just didn't think it was really fair. It was time for him to leave Utah. He's in a great situation now in Cleveland. And I think Cleveland, I said this before the year started, I think Cleveland is a team to watch out for. I think they could play spoiler to the Celtics. They could play spoiler to the Bucks. Like, if those teams don't want to play Cleveland. Like, Cleveland could take both of those teams 7 games. Would you really be shocked if the Cleveland Cavaliers beat either of those teams? I wouldn't necessarily be shocked. The other teams would be favored, and I expect the other team to win because those teams are more experienced. Besides Donovan Mitchell, no one in the Cavs has really earned their stripes yet. Kevin Love, of course, has done it all in the postseason, but most of their cast hasn't really been there before. So I would lean Celtics and lean Bucks, but Cleveland is right there. And if they make a deep run this year and get that experience, next year they're definitely going to be a team to watch out for. And it's hard not to see Cleveland eventually getting a championship within the next few seasons. I would expect that this team gets to the finals relatively soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to get at least one. Like when you look at their core, Garland and Donovan Mitchell, you're getting all the offensive production you could ask for in a backcourt. And yeah, you say they're small and you can bully them defensively, but they got guys protecting the rim. Mobley and Jared Allen, that's about as good as it gets as far as rim protection and guys to bail you out when you're getting punished on the defensive end. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell and Garland, they just have to chase guys off the three-point line, and now you got 2 rim protectors right there. Usually they start an Okoro or a Dean Wade, somebody who could just be a 3-and-D. And the Cleveland team, I like their coach too. I like the energy. They're out of any team in the league, I think they have the highest local ratings. Like as far as people in the area who watch their games, I think the Cleveland Cavalier fans tune into their games at least last season. I saw that stat last season, and I would expect that it's gone up since they got Mitchell. But the fans are bought in. The arena is loud. They have either the best or second best home court record in the league. It's between them and the Warriors for sure. And they played against some real tough teams and dominated them in Cleveland. So the Cavaliers are definitely a team to watch out for, and it's all because of Donovan Mitchell. I mean, they have a lot of great pieces. They've set up an amazing structure. There's a lot going on with that team, but it starts and ends with Donovan Mitchell being able to do whatever he wants on that basketball court. So we're going to play this clip. NBA Today, they interviewed Donovan Mitchell after the 71-point performance. Let's see what he has to say.
In the history of the NBA, 71 from Donovan Mitchell, and the Cavaliers win it in overtime.
It is not hyperbole when I say the man, the myth, the freaking legend is here with us, fresh off of 71 points on NBA Today. Donovan, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
We appreciate it. I mean, fresh off of 71 points, when did you start to feel like, you know what, this is going to be the night?
Honestly,
I mean, look at that stat line. 7 for 15 from 3. He was just draining it from downtown. 7 for 15 from 3. I mean, he made 15 shots within the arc. So he's getting to the rim. He's hitting it from deep. 20 for 25 from the free throw line. He's also getting his teammates involved. 11 assists. And when I was checking this game out yesterday, I saw that the Bulls were up 15 points or so in the first half. They were on top of the Cavs. They were getting on them. And the Bulls had just lost a close game against the Cavs in Chicago. So they really wanted this game. They were playing very hard. They got out to a big early lead in the first half. And just like you see in a lot of these games in the NBA today, no lead is safe. Donovan Mitchell just turns up and saves the day.
After I hit missed the free throw and I made the bucket, everything else, I think I was at 50 before that. I think once that went in, I was like, all right, guys got a little something for me, because that could have gone left or right, but it went right to me and I made the layup. I was like, all right. And that's why I started laughing in the huddle, because I was like, all right, might as well go ahead and win the game. We made it this far.
Wait, so Chanae and I are both putting our hands up in the air saying, wait, it wasn't when you had 50? It was all the way when you made that putback?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when I had 50, it was just like...
You guys got to understand that Donovan Mitchell, this is a guy who feels like he could put up 50 any given night. This guy has had some amazing playoff performances where he just put the Jazz on his back and just went out and got 40, 45. Donovan Mitchell can just explode. If you had to tell me, guess which player had 70 points in an NBA game, honestly, I would guess Luka Doncic. But after Luka, Donovan Mitchell was on that short list of guys who you were like, okay, he just took over and exploded.
All right, we weren't cracking the lead. We were getting there. It was like 3s, and then 6, and then 8, and then back to 3, back to 2, back to 1. So I was like, yeah, it's a big night, but we're not winning the game. But ultimately, that's when I was like, okay, we tied the game up. Now we're in a position to win. We hadn't led the whole game.
And when you look at the guys who have scored at least 70 points in an NBA game before, I don't know about some of the older cats like Chamberlain and Baylor. Of course, any record that you break or that you tie or whatever that you accomplish in this league, Wilt Chamberlain's name is going to be right up there. I'm not sure about David Thompson or David Robinson, how those games went, but I could tell you, Kobe, the Lakers won that game when Kobe scored 81. They won that game by about 20 points or so, 18, 20 points, something like that. And Devin Booker, the Suns were getting crushed in the game that Devin Booker put up 70. So this performance by Donovan Mitchell, they needed every single bucket. This game went into overtime. They were down big and came back. It just makes it even more impressive.
So I was scoring, and I was like, it's just meaningless until we actually do something with the lead and kind of get there. And then once I made the layup, kind of set the score back to its to tie, and then kind of started the overtime with that. That's when I was like, all right, now we got something going.
I have a million more questions for you, but I know Chanae specifically wanted to dive into that play. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, as a fellow current hooper, we all know it is very, very rare to be able to pull off the miss into the make. So what was going through your mind on the free throw line for you to be able to put that layup in?
Yeah, so my first few years in Utah, Quinn Snyder, we spend probably once a month we'll spend time, about doing that. And that time we had Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert. We put both of them at the free throw line. You put the shooters, Kevin Love, who actually ended up crashing at this time, but he was supposed to go to the 3, but he's a natural rebounder, so he ran in there. But you kind of put it up high, get in there and just try to make the play. They're going to be distracted by the 2 7-footers trying to box them out. No one's going to be quick enough to get to me at the free throw line, so I just shot it and went and got it.
And it's just that simple?
Yeah, he makes it sound easy, but that was just a hell of a play.
I mean, it was one of those plays. My jaw was on the floor. Can you tell us a little bit more? Earlier in the day, you spent some time playing some video games with a very special player. Tell us a little bit more about that. What happened?
Yeah, so I've been playing Call of Duty with Royce O'Neal since we were in Utah together, and obviously now he's in Brooklyn. So I texted him like, "Yo, are you on the game?" And he said, "Yeah, me and Kai are on." So we went ahead and got on the game, and I was like, as soon as I got on, I was like, "Yeah, I'm a little tired. It's like my last game." And I won't say exactly what he said, but he's like, "Bro, what the hell are you doing on the game? Like, take your butt to sleep. Like, you know what I mean? You need to take this nap." And I went to sleep right after that, and it's pretty crazy how that all came about. When we were playing, he lagged out early. I didn't think I ended the game well. It's not a great game of Call of Duty, but
People get on Kevin Durant for just playing video games, smoking weed, and playing basketball all day. Like, I hear people say KD lived like a kid, but honestly, all these guys are doing it. Like, these NBA players that don't have no kids, they be on the game, they be getting high, and they just practice and they work their ass off. And I mean, as long as they're doing a good job with their job and they're not bothering anybody else, I mean, let them do what they do.
it's all good.
Well, then you're saving the great stuff for a little bit later. All right, before I pass it over to Matt Barnes, you tweeted something earlier that I'm not quite. What happened today? Folks maybe thought that was such a good performance that what happened?
Yeah, Rolo, obviously Rolo and I combining for 72 points, him and I together.
Shout out Robin Lopez.
Shout out Rolo, Robin Lopez, and then out of nowhere, him and I both get drug tested today. So,
Random.
They drug test Robin Lopez for having 1 point. Robin Lopez thinking I don't even deserve to be drug tested. But shout out to the Lopez twins. I live in the Bay Area. I've grown up in the Bay Area my whole life, and the Lopez twins, they're from this area. And actually, the other brother, there's the twins, and then they have another brother, and the other brother lives somewhere in this area. Actually, you could catch him playing basketball at the local rec centers and gyms and stuff. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play with him or against him, but some of my homies have, and they told me he's just like a little bit shorter version of them who plays the exact same way. He could shoot it, lights out, and he's like hella tall, about 6'8", 6'9", something like that.
Random.
Yeah, random.
Random. That's what the random is.
Side note, it's crazy to think how like the Lopez twins, especially Brooke, like these guys were not known for shooting at all. When they came into the league, they were just back to the basket guys, hook shots and rebounds, and now Brooke Lopez is just he's Splash Mountain. I mean, everything he does is on the perimeter. You actually wish sometimes he went down low a little bit more because you can actually isolate Brooke Lopez in the post and tell him to go get you a bucket.
Both of them. Yeah, random. Donovan, amazing game. I got a chance to talk to you, and I shared it earlier on the show about three weeks ago, a month ago in Sacramento. I was congratulating you on your season, and the first thing you told me is you're happy. Speak to how important that is to have kind of a clear mind and a clear head and being happy where you're playing at, and obviously this is the byproduct of that.
It means everything. Happiness is key.
Yeah, you the biggest thing, man. We play this game, but when you have a clear head, mental space, and you're just at peace, man. It's a fresh start. We all have that in life. It's not even just in sports, man, but sometimes in just life, sometimes you just need a fresh start.
Preach.
Just a do-over. And I think for me, just kind of coming into a new situation.
And that's Alex Caruso. He's just hitting up like one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, like just working them.
Having to earn, the respect of the guys around me. I've accomplished what I've accomplished, but, I wasn't going to just walk in and just be like, all right, this is what it is. Guys allowed me to grow and continuously be this leader, and they believe in me, and not to say the guys in Utah didn't believe in me, but these guys believe in me. We're a younger group. We're a team that has to continue to prove ourselves, and, we're doing a solid job of it. We can be better. We'll continuously get better. But for me, coming into a situation, man, where you're just like, this team's traded for me. You appreciate it. You wanted to be here. The fans love, the fact that I'm here. I love the fact that I'm here as well as a Cavs fan growing up. And now the fact that I'm here and we're playing well is great, but we have a lot more to accomplish.
Don, where does this stand for you in terms of individual performances? As you look back on your career, does this one...
I mean, it's got to be the best one. He scored 71 fucking points in an overtime win. I don't know.
Stand at the top?
I would say this is probably the best moment of my career so far because, outside of maybe beating OKC in the first round of the playoff my rookie year, because that was unexpected for me. And that was more than just one game. That was an entire series. But this one, It's not even just the fact that it was 71. You know, I think as a group, the fact that we came back down 21 in the first half.
See, down 21. I saw it when I saw it. They were down like 15, 16 points. They were down 21 points and came back and won. I mean, every play that he made was monumental for them to win this game.
Never led the whole game. Guys making continuous plays, and we didn't even have our two stars in Darius and Evan. You know, like guys came.
Yeah, he didn't have his second and third best players with him. Just this performance, it was just so crazy.
Showed up and helped out.
People don't realize in the NBA, in all the professional leagues, but especially in the NBA, there's a thing called scheduled losses. Like, okay, we're resting our second best player, our third best player. We just played against this team. They got a good feel for how we played. We barely beat them by one last time out. They're going to come out here hard and ready to play. Maybe we put Donovan Mitchell on a little bit of a minute restriction or something, and this is just going to be a scheduled L. Like, there's a lot more scheduled L's in the NBA than people realize. Like, sometimes teams are just mailing it in, or teams are just balling out, you know? Like, and that was, like, kind of a scheduled L for Cleveland, but at home and with Donovan Mitchell, you always have a shot.
Contributor Raul Neto always being ready to play when he's, you know, called upon. Rolo coming in for his 7-8 minutes being a prime factor. Jetty Osman, Kevin Love, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, like the list goes on. Lamar Stevens, Isaac Okoro. So all of us stepping up, you know, when you're missing two guys who are as dominant as those two, to be down, and we really weren't playing great, you know, to start the game, and for us to come out and do what we did as a group, you know, yeah, we all look at 71, but at the end of the day, I'm not at that point with my teammates' trust in our capabilities as a group.
Well, in the words of the notorious B.I.G., if you don't know, now you know. Donovan Mitchell, man, 71 points. If you haven't been paying attention to this man, he is as good as it gets. Hell of a performance once again. I mean, I've always loved Donovan Mitchell's game. He's a grinder. He's a workhorse. He's a guy who came into this league being known for being a defender and a guy who was going to get after it. And he showed everybody, oh, I got an offensive bag too. I got the type of bag that could go get 20. No, I could go get 30, 40. And now he put on 70 points, 71 in a comeback win. So it's just amazing stuff, inspirational for sure. And I can't wait to see what this Cleveland team does in the upcoming seasons. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.